This is a story I've told before, but it's my favorite story to tell. And it's like all the stories we've told tonight, it's true. I was on a flight, and I was from Los Angeles to New York. And midway through the flight, the engine blew up on the plane I was on the right side engine. And then the plane just, that's not the noise it made. Clearly, I'm not the black guy from Police Academy. It makes funny noise. It was like, all right, thank you. And then there was a rooster. And a lawn sprinkler. All right, I don't know how he does it. It's magic. So, the engine blew up on this plane, and the plane didn't coast. It just dropped out of the sky because the pilot was trying to land it very quickly. That's what I found out later. But to us, it felt like it was crashing because we just dropped, and people's drinks hit the ceiling, and people were fucking slammed around, and people were praying and screaming. I remember this like it was in slow motion and silent, like, and then I stayed calm. Because I handled crisis really well, but I said, look at the flight attendants, see what they're doing. Take your lead off of them. And I look at two flight attendants who were looking out this window, and then they turned, and they were sobbing. Crying flight attendants. The scariest fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh, by the way, you know, we're here for your safety first. Fuck that. These ladies have chucked the fuck out. Oh, but I always thought you were professional, Karen. So the pilot said, this is true. The pilot goes, hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot. There's no reason to be alarmed. We're going to land in Cleveland in 2 to 2.5 minutes. That's the truth. And it was terrifying. Because that's the voice of death. It would have been more comforting if the pilot was like, ah! This is your pilot! Do not look out the right side of the plane. I think we got 35 seconds. I'm gonna try some shit I learned in pilot school. I've never had to do on an actual plane. Kiss a stranger, rub one out in your seat. Smoke, we used to smoke. That would have been more comforting. Because that's the voice of death. You walk out here tonight and a guy comes up and goes, I'm gonna fucking kill you! He's not. That's a drunk jock that wants his buddies to pull him off you so he doesn't really have to get in a fight. I'm gonna fucking kill you! Calm down, Todd. He's not worth it. But if you walk out here tonight and a guy comes up from behind and goes, I'm gonna kill you, that fucker's gonna kill you. Maybe not tonight, but you're gonna wake up, he'll be in your bedroom nude with a heart on covered with goat scat. With a machete. I told you I was gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna eat you, and you're gonna live in my belly forever and ever, and we're gonna be tummy friends for eternity, because that's what cannibals believe. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't run around going, I'm gonna eat your brains. Ah! He was like, does this rag smell funny to you? Second Jesus Christ of the night. Thanks for bringing him home.
He's everywhere.
Thanks for bringing him home, officer. That was my Jeffrey Dahmer. All right, here's where people get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, here is where it is.
The other people on this flight was a good portion of the United States Special Olympics team. That's who was on this flight. I can't change it, so you're more comfortable. It was 35 men and women in red, white, and blue running suits with medals. So if it wasn't the Special Olympics team, it was a really big hip-hop group with Down syndrome. And as the plane was careening towards the earth, the pilot got on one more time. He goes, hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot. There's no reason to be alarmed. When we land in Cleveland, the runway will be covered entirely in foam. At the very end of the runway will be a fire truck. And I thought, I'm dying. This is the end of your life. And I thought about my daughter, and I thought about my friends, and then one voice in the back of the plane went, fire truck! And I laughed. And no one else did. I'm like, fire truck? You didn't hear fire truck, you're kidding me. And no one else did it. That was the moment I went from atheist to agnostic. I was like, maybe there is some sense in this universe. And I know some of you work with special needs people, or you may have them in your family, but if you don't think they say or do anything funny, you're denying that they're human beings, because that's the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard another human being say. All right. So this is a part of the story, but it's not part of the story. I did a pilot with my friend Bridgette Everett that I talked about earlier, and it was called Love You More, and I wrote it with her and Michael Patrick King, and I had the honor of directing it, and I thought it was really funny, and I was really sad when Amazon didn't pick it up because I thought it was really had heart, and it was outrageous and funny, and Bridgette played a woman that worked in a home for special needs. It was 8 adults with Down syndrome, and that was the pilot, and I thought it was really great. And when I was researching about Down syndrome, I found that it's not a generalization. One of the actual symptoms of having Down syndrome is you have you have a lot of empathy, extra amount of empathy. And so, like, if someone was laughing and happy, the rest of the cast was happy, and if someone was having a bad day, the whole set would just go downhill. So we're having lunch, and I was making small talk, the whole cast, and I go, do any of you have any pets? And this one guy next to me goes, I have a dog, but he died. And I go, oh, and then this other guy goes, I had 3 pets, and they're all dead. This is horrible, Bobcat. Why did you bring this up? And then this one guy, Josh, who I loved, went over to the other guy and he held his hand in his face and he said, Kevin, it's gonna be okay. And my heart burst. And then Kevin said, don't ever touch me again. I only want the girls to touch me.